But yeah, third place here. You mentioned the Palkia Noctowl deck, which we have seen before,
Yep.
but it's not really like a staple deck in the meta or anything like that. And this is pretty similar. I have to assume this is like probably inspired by Justin Templar, senior division player who got second at LAIC. This is pretty similar
Yeah.
to that build, probably just one or two cards different.
Yeah, it's got the one energy switch, the one Kiernan, the one switch, the trumpets, like yeah, it's very, very similar.
Yeah, so this deck has been popping up a little bit recently. We saw like at Stuttgart, the Jet build, the Jet Energy build. I think it was at Stuttgart, where it
Stuttgart
got
was this tournament. You're thinking Gdansk.
Gdansk, yeah, Gdansk. There was the Jet Energy build that got top 16,
Yeah.
which was cool. Where is it? Yeah, from
It's right here,
Oscar.
yeah.
So this build was cool, and then we saw like I said at LAIC, Justin Templar in the seniors division. But rarely is there ever stream matches from the seniors division, so a little bit more of a spotlight is put on the deck. I have to imagine Matt, I'm assuming is how you pronounce the name here. Um, don't quote me on that. Probably got inspired by that because, like I said, very close to that 60, and I felt like a little bit of a unique build. Or I guess Caleb Rogerson played it as well at LAIC, right?
Yeah, I think he was on stream, so it was definitely out there.
Yeah,
I don't remember how he finished. I think he got top 64.
it was 16 actually. I think we saw it.
No, no,
Oh,
that was at Gdansk.
oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he got
Right.
top 64.
Okay, yeah. So I don't know. This deck has been. This is one of those decks though. I feel like it's going to be really hard for this deck to ever become popular. Like this would have to like win a major tournament in the Masters division for people to be like, oh, like this deck could be good enough to be like a
A
seven,
meta
8%
deck,
meta
yeah.
deck. To be honest, like I don't know. I haven't really played with it, but it'd be really hard for this deck to ever become
Isn't
popular.
it so funny how stuff like that is uh it's sometimes how the meta shakes out. Like, yes, the cream always does rise to the top, right? The best decks always do kind of make themselves known, but like there are definitely fine decks out there in the meta like this that like could hold a reasonable 5, 6, 7% meta share that just won't unless they have a big finish first.
In general, the Pokemon TCG community is very results oriented. Like the thing that shifts the needle more than anything else is results. And sometimes for decks that are like 1% meta decks or 1% meta decks, I wouldn't even call them a meta deck at that point, but 1% decks at a tournament,
Yeah.
they need to like literally win the tournament for more people to be like, "Oh, wait, that's kind of cool enough to pick up."
A good
Which is a good
example
example
of
of that.
that is literally Maridon from this last event.
Yeah.
Because Sacramento, we look at the statistics,
The 4%?
Maridon nowhere to be seen day one or day two. We didn't get the best of the rest graphics at that one,
Yeah.
but nowhere to be seen. And then we look at this tournament, Maridon is, on the graph at 8%. So it went from below 4% on the last one to 8% in the next one.
Well, it probably is
Honestly,
unfavorable.
dude, what a come up story for Cloth, right? Disrespected, total rogue deck to now like a a meta contender. Like, like we'll talk about this a little bit later, but I feel like this is a deck that we're going to see more from this deck through the rest of this format. Like, this is
Yeah.
not the last we're going to see of it.
Yeah, a lot of people are playing it a lot of different ways as well, or like with like little tech cards. Like you see, Robin there has the Genesect in there, which is the card that I was super excited for when it got revealed. It says if you have a tool card on it, your opponent can't play their ace spec, and you
And
got plenty of
this,
tool cards, plenty of
yep,
excess tool cards, and excess bench space. To be honest, this deck has like one or two bench slots to kind of after playing some games with the deck. Finally, you have like one or two bench spots in most matchups in most situations to kind of mess around with. Some people have been playing like the Reggie Drago, the baby one that draws cards when it's in the active, which combos well with Latios because Latios gives a free retreat. Otherwise, it has three. Or you have like this Genesect in here from Robin. You shut down the Prime Catcher, other trolleys potentially before your opponent can play their trolley. You shut it down for like mirror match. And that's one of the big strengths of this deck in general. I guess I would talk to a little bit is KOing stuff in between turns. Your opponent doesn't get access to that flip to script from Pheasantipity.